Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast. I am your host, Chuck Manity. And in today's episode, we are going to be covering Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So as usual, what we will do is just give our 5 cents, give you a little bit of background as to what the thing is actually about, more or less, the actors and everyone involved, etc., etc., anything we think is interesting. And then we will show you the trailer and we'll give our thoughts on that immediately afterwards. So without any further ado, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is an upcoming American supernatural horror film based on Scott Cawthon's Five Nights at Freddy's video game series and the sequel to Five Nights at Freddy's, which came out in 2023. Just a quick sidebar, anyone notice the uptick in video game movies that has come out? Yeah, I'd like to know 2 things, if you could let me know please in the comments below. One, is superhero fatigue real? Is that movie segment or whatever that Hollywood's coming out with, do you think that's dead? Do you think, or what the reason is that it could continue, etc., etc.? And are you enjoying the video game genre that's now hitting our screens? You know, Minecraft, Super Mario Bros, etc., etc. Love to know. So on that note, Cawthon stated in 2018 that there would be a second Five Nights at Freddy's film based on the events of the 2014 video game of the same name. If the first film was successful, that's obviously how it ends, sorry. Hutchison revealed the development of the sequel in January 2024 with Jason Blum's Blumhouse Productions, officially confirming it's 3 years later. So that took a while, but you know, not too long. Principal photography began in November 2024 and wrapped in February 2025. So the cast is Josh Hutcherson. He's playing Mike Smith, which is the security guard for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. You might recognize him from the Hunger Games as well as Journey 2, because that's where I recognize him from. So then you have Elizabeth Lale. She's going to be playing Vanessa Shelley, which is a local police officer, and William Afton's daughter. William Afton is being played by Matthew Lillard, but Elizabeth Lale, you might actually recognize her from Once Upon a Time. She was playing Anna. And Matthew Lillard, you'll know him from Scooby-Doo, or the one with the 13 ghosts in a house. Pretty scary stuff. I'd recommend that if you haven't seen it. Kind of cheese. It's kind of cheese for horror, but it starts off really like crazy. That's for sure. Like the ending is a little bit like anticlimactic as far as the horror vibes, because it ends like a super happy like fairy tale story. But then, you know, the rest of it's nuts. But all in all, cool. Like, I kind of dig that movie, so watch it. 13 Ghosts, there you go. Then there's also Piper Rubio. She's playing Abby Schmidt, and that's Mike's younger sister. Remember her from the first one. That's where I know her from. And quite a bunch of other people, but the one I want to speak about as well is Wayne Knight. So he's actually going to be in this as well. And you'll know him from Jurassic Park. Remember that? Do you remember the Jurassic Park? Yeah, so we were talking about that like just in the video before this, so that's cool. Well, not Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. Rebirth. And then he's been in a bunch of other stuff. JFK, Basic Instinct, Space Jam. You might remember that with the cartoon characters in the basketball. That's very cool. The original Space Jam. The new one, yeah, kind of wasn't for me, hey. Tarzan, he's Al McGuigan in Toy Story. He's the Elf Elder in Tom and Jerry. So yeah, he's been around for a long time, and I do like him. So he was that creepy dude in Jurassic Park who tried to steal stuff, and then the other small dinosaur spat him in his face. So there you go. So back on Five Nights at Freddy's. Sorry about that. So filming. So as far as the filming goes, principal photography, like I said, was expected to start late October 2024. So at New York Comic Con, October 17th, Matthew Lillard stated that filming would start in 10 days. So that was obviously October 27th. And then filming began by November 2024 and wrapped in February 2025, which is what I said earlier. And the release, so if you are excited about this, you should be excited about this date. So Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is scheduled to be released in the United States on December 5th. So around the Christmas time kind of stuff this year. So that is exciting if you are excited. Does that make sense? Yeah. Cool. So if you're excited about this movie, not too much longer. It's about just under 4 months by 2 days. That's if you want to be specific. I'm not going to give you how many weeks or days because, I have a life. And so on that note, let's get straight into watching the trailer of Five Nights at Freddy's. Here is the trailer.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Definitely not the Freddy's I remember.
You're thinking of the franchise location. This is the original. Nobody's been here for decades. Some little girl got murdered here. Do you guys hear that?
Hear what?
So this is what it's like? Being normal?
I think we've come pretty far, considering what we've been through.
How's that be?
Some days she's good. Some days she misses her friends.
This story that you're gonna fix those animatronics? It's only giving her false hope.
Can any of you hear me?
Abby, help us. Come find us. I will show you the way.
Oh no.
They're out there, Mike.
Where?
Everywhere.
Where are you gonna run to? I'm not done with you.
There's no way that'll work.
And that was the Five Nights at Freddy's trailer. So, a little bit to unpack there. So you have what I think is going to be pretty much the side characters reinvestigating the Five Nights at Freddy's pizza parlor. Go inside, reinvigorate these characters again, kind of thing, or rebirth them. I don't know, maybe something like that. I'm not a story writer, so I'm just letting you know what I think. So anyway, on that, kind of you get a look at Mike Schmidt, who's the main character, and he's talking about, like, obviously him and Vanessa seem to be an item, with Abby, Mike's younger sister, being like a someone they're looking after, which is what he was doing in the first one specifically, but now she's there to, of course, help him kind of thing, and maybe they're dating, whatever. But it seems like her little toy things, she's attached to these creepy creatures, and the one creature seems to call her on a radio. You saw that? Yeah. But the way it starts, just back up with me for a second. The way it starts with those little toy boxes, those are creepy, right? It's not just me. It's probably why they use them. It's like a lot of horrors. So, but yeah, definitely not getting my kids any of those. Thank you very much. Will not be buying any toy boxes. Just play the normal music through your phone or something nice. No weird toy box stuff at your house. Thank you. So it looks like they kind of draw in, from what I can tell, and these guys are not just based at the pizza parlor, so they're taking them out of that environment. Don't know if that's such a hot idea, because the closed or confined space that you'll find yourself in the dark is kind of, for me, a little bit more creepy. That's why like a creepy house horror tends to work quite well most of the time. I mean, if you think about most of them, it's always like this haunted house vibe where you confine into a space and you can't get out. So when you're out and about, there's always that thing of like you can drive away, you can, etc, etc. Not always, depends how they stick the landing. I mean, that's just, I'm just thinking of myself as far as like being scared, and if I was out and about and I was able to get away. But I mean, look, the things were attacking cars too while people were in cars, so it's kind of like that other horror with that weird thing that eats people and flies around and then takes on their attributes. I forget what it's called now. I'll probably put it at the bottom of the screen, but that movie was in the outskirts, but it was remote outskirts, so it wasn't like city. So I don't know if that city vibe is going to be like completely scary. That's just my opinion. But yeah, look, trailer looks okay. I mean, I liked the first one. It was cool, and this one has colored me intrigued for sure. Do I think it's going to be better than the first one from the trailer? Not, well, maybe the second trailer, we can talk about that, but from this first trailer, it's going to be a fun watch maybe, and you can kind of be, I would say, pretty invested in this. I think it looks decent, let's say that. The first one is cool, like, so they've got to, obviously that's the whole point of a sequel, is to try to top the first one, which very little sequels over the years have ever done. So that's also that. There are sequels that are better, but this one, I am 70% about it. I'm 70%. Like, I think that's a good one. But yeah, it does look like it would be a bit more gruesome. So I think if they lean into that, maybe make it a little bit more. I mean, the first one wasn't like really. It was more thrilling than it was horror. So I think if they really lean into that horror aspect of it, then maybe that sort of outdoorsy vibe and not confined space will definitely work. So yeah, but that's what I'm thinking. What are you thinking? Please let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video and you liked the trailer, please do show us some love by popping us a thumbs up there. And that is it for today's episode of the Everything Podcast, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.